from exploring and seeing the vast oceans on our planet. And now I'm into probably the greatest and most strenuous journey that I've ever undertaken. Partnering with my blind friend Chris and building a house. We've got a guy who's busy leading this build who can't tell a straight line from a skew line. This can't be a recipe for success, or can it?
So Riaan's taking on the role of foreman. Basically, he's going to be my eyes. I just want to get stuck in and prove that a blind man can do anything that a sighted person is able to.
I guess when we named this building Blind, we wanted to be honest about what we were going to do. But when you say it over and over, it gets scarier and scarier. We are going to be building blind. Proudly brought to you by Everite, home of Nutec, building solutions that you can trust.
Chris is one of the best people that I've ever met. He is a man who does what he says, which I think shows a lot of integrity. He is just a warm person, intelligent, and he just makes me feel like the most beautiful woman in the whole world, and I love him for that. Chris and I have a shared love of the outdoors and doing some crazy things. He has always had a passion for doing things that are a little bit offbeat and off the wall, and I found that quite interesting when I first met him, specifically around his scooter adventures that he did. That he's also traveled a lot, which is really important to me. I also love travel and exploring the world, and we've been very fortunate to do a few of those types of trips together, and it's definitely a love that we share. Learning about new places, exploring food and culture, and just enjoying the world around us. I'll never forget the day when Chris suddenly lost his sight. It was really quick. It was over a period of about 4 days. He hadn't been well, and he had started complaining about some troubles with his vision. He was seeing spots and his vision wasn't very clear. We had made an appointment to see a specialist, but of course the specialist appointments took quite some time for us to actually get in. And we didn't know that it was so serious. We didn't know that it was an emergency, otherwise we would have sought immediate medical care. But over a space of 4 days, Chris went totally blind. And we went to go and see an ophthalmologist, and he looked into the back of Chris's eyes and kind of very quickly understood that there was a serious issue, and he took some bloods. And when we got home, I think it was the next day, I was sitting on the bed next to Chris actually, and we got a call from the ophthalmologist, and he told Chris that, listen, your sight is gone. You will never see anything again, and you need to get yourself to hospital right now. Every year we talk about his blind anniversary, which is the 4th of June. That was the day that he lost his sight completely. And we think every year it's going to get a little better, but it's really not. We've just come, or in the last week, come out of quite a sad and tough time for Chris, because it's just a reminder of how much he has lost. Sure, that's quite a tough one. Yeah, it was probably when he came back from the hospital. He spent some time in the hospital where the doctors were looking after him and trying to sort out his immediate health issues. And when he came home and it became very clear that the prognosis for his sight was that he now needed to live as a blind man, he in essence sat me down and said, I totally understand if you want to leave. And I don't quite know how to put this into words, but there's no ways that I was going to leave him. And when people ask me that question, I always say to them, think about the person that you love the most in the world. If this had to happen to them, what would you do? My immediate response to that was, hell no, I'm not going anywhere. I love him, and we were going to get through this together.
The day has arrived, the day that we actually unveil Chris's house. It's been a year and some of blood, sweat and tears, but all of these people have been involved and coming to celebrate the day. If you can fold the buff 3 times for me, and then put that, 3 normally gives you, like, it blocks out the view. Okay, and blindfolds on, keep walking straight that way. That way. Are you guys following? Here we go. This way straight, eh? Die mense agter ons, hoe is dit links en regs? Mense, okay. Yes, please. En Karen, hulle kyk daar agter my mense. Thank you for being here.
But no, Riaan's taking it.
Yeah.
The unveiling of the building blind home.
Buongiorno! Buongiorno!
You guys.
Wow!
I'm sorry that you had to be blind.
Well done, guys.
Beautiful. Sorry, Stuart who?
Stuart who?
I don't know that guy, but there's some of them coming.
Oh, that is so awesome. Hi, Craig. Thank you so much. I need to give you a hug.
You can choose hug, handshake, or you can turn around.
Old bastard. Old bastard.
And Reynolds can see Chris.
It goes without saying that amazing things have happened because people have collaborated, and it was phone calls to guys like that's absent today, like Brendan, and then speaking to Craig. And I have done for 21 years all things that I'm passionate about and things that I believe in. I've never done anything with anybody when they haven't believed in strongly as I have, and Craig probably believed more strongly in me being able to create a home for a family. So many people, I'll tell you what motivated me was so many people have done so many amazing, great things for me, and they didn't expect anything in return.
So, I said it at the time, I've got immense respect for Chris. I remember when we got here, the container was there were holes, he missed them. I had to catch myself, And the enthusiasm initially, in embracing the building technology and all the hardware. I mean, you can say, so a lot of this was sponsored, but it's easier to give money than it is to sweat blood. So the sweat equity that this family's put into this place goes without saying.
It was so nice to have all the partners come and spend a bit of time with us, raise a glass, and just see the finished product that showcases a lot of their products and services. This was the moment of happiness. It was the moment of where the tragedy gets turned into a triumph.
It's easy for all of us to daydream, but it takes a particular type of courage, will, focus and determination to reach out, catch that dream and turn it into reality. Chris, I could not be more proud of you than I am today.
I cry.
Riaan, to you and your team, I'm so proud to know you. Thank you for bringing all of us together. Look at all of these people, and for a lot of you, you will be lifelong friends. We will be inviting you to come and eat dinner in our beautiful home from our beautiful kitchen. Thank you, Stuart, again. And we are just so humbled and amazed to be at this point. Riaan, thank you so much for helping us to catch our dream. Look what we did. We built a home. Thank you. Thank you. Those are my words.
When I do talks, I often quote Bob Marley. One of my favorite sayings is that you only know how strong you are when being strong is your only choice. The Japanese have this practice called kintsugi, where a pot is broken and smashed that has no value. And that pot gets put together back with gold leaf and then becomes of super value. Well, my life was the pot that was smashed. And everybody brought me the gold leaf, and Riaan and everybody helped me put it back together, and now that pot is so valuable. So all I can say is thank you, grazie, nkosi kakhulu, merci, dankeschön. Now, there's one last thing we have to think about. That bloody container behind me. Get that freaking thing out of here! But thanks again everybody for being here. Cheers to all of you.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers. Cheers, my darling.
From James, Samuel, Fusty and myself, and we've left it clear for you guys to be able to decorate in any way that you would like.
Thank you.
You can feel it, Chris. It's quite nice and heavy.
In front of you.
You can feel it.
That's the one they cut out with a water jet.
That's it exactly.
Awesome. Awesome. We've got a wall for it already. On
Have
the
you?
end of the lounge there on that corner. Perfect.
But it's
We're gonna have to space it
beautiful.
though, and I'll put a light behind it. Never again!
Yeah, there's a few things that were important to me because Riaan partnered with me on this project. He was one of the first people who put their hand up and said, let's do this, we can do this together, let me help you. I said, okay, Riaan, but we're going to have the first drink at the bar together. And what he'd forgotten is that a year or two before that, he'd given myself and Tamlin, when we told him of our plans, a bottle of decent bubbly. And we'd kept that bottle, and that day we pulled it out and we reminded him. And I do remember through lockdown a couple of times holding that bottle when we had alcohol sales restrictions, thinking, oh man, let's just crack this bottle and have a drink. But it survived, and it was very important for me to have that moment of first glass, first drink with Riaan. We needed that moment.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Riaan.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you.
Thank you, Fusty. Thank you. You guys are
And Chris.
Back over. Okay, move your hands and feet, move your hands and feet.
I'm relieved, I'm excited, and I'm feeling very comfortable with where we are. I'm pleased that it doesn't go on for much longer so I can focus on my next project. Everite make these great products where they use a water jet and they cut out a design out of one of their flat Nutec sheets. And Riaan had a layout of Africa, the continent, cut out, and he gave that to me as a housewarming present. So we're going to put that up on the wall, we're going to paint it and adorn it with all sorts of pictures and trims and pretty up and be all artistic. Africa has kind of become the symbol of Riaan. Riaan cycled around Africa. I zigzagged all the way up Africa. It's obviously a continent that is important to both of us. We live here at the very bottom of it, and we choose to live here. We're both in a position where if we wanted to immigrate, as so many of our friends and peers have, we could make that happen like that. But we choose to. We choose to stay. We choose to live here on the Cape Whale coast. Riaan lives close by here, of course. We choose for our children to grow up here in Africa because this is the best place to be. Tamlin's always a bit emotional. This is important. This is our life. This is our home. This was a major gamble. It was a major task. This nearly broke me. And for her to see it all come together and to feel the love, the respect, to feel the reward, of course she was emotional, as was I. I also am almost croaked up. I'm just better at hiding it. Over the years that I've worked as a professional adventurer, I've learned to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. I've learned that when your arms are burning from your paddle stroke or your legs are shaking from rotating around and around as you fight your way up a hill, you have to just persevere and dig deep, dig really, really deep. And to quote Bob Marley, as I did when I spoke in front of everyone last week, you don't know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. The type of adventure that I've become comfortable with is very far removed from building a house. And this was the most challenging, toughest, most exhausting, most drenching, draining, and destroying project that I've ever done. But now that it's all done, it was worth every second. It's time for us to go for walks in the evening, grow fruit and vegetables in our garden, paddle, go to the beach, walk our dogs, and enjoy life. Watch our son grow up in a safe, secure environment, in a place where we know his best interests are at heart. Last week, after everybody had left, I was sitting alone at the fire. There was still a few coals embering away there. It was nice and warm. Tamlin had gone to sleep. She'd worked until past 2 a.m. that morning and was exhausted, and I just wanted to leave her. And young Tate, my 4-year-old son, walked out and sat down next to me. And his first words were, "What's going on here, Daddy?" And I explained to him, well, there's coals in the fire, and he asked, can he pick up a piece of wood and put it on? And I told him, yes, you can, and I helped him do that. And he snuggled up with me, and we spoke about the fire. We spoke about the reveal, the party. We spoke about the people, the house, and what it meant to build this house, and the area. We spoke about his school. We spoke about the stars in the sky. And when I told him, I can't see those stars, can you describe them to me? And he said, well, Daddy, there's lots and lots and lots of little baby suns all over space. It was very cool. And that moment is probably the most comfortable, most happy moment that I've had with Tate in the 4 years that he's been in my life. It was very special, a very special dad and lad moment. When I first met Tamlin, from the moment we started chatting, I knew she was the one. I knew that with her at my side, no matter what obstacles we face, we can overcome them. And this is proof of that, because not only did she endure having a partner that went blind, and she chose to stay, as most don't, but I've put her through this project of us building a house. She had to put her faith in me to know that I could do it, to know that I could pull this magic trick off. She's one of the most remarkable, kind, patient, beautiful, lovely women that I've ever known. And I'm so glad that she's at my side. That is what makes me the luckiest man alive. I think we're done.